What is going on, Reploverse? My name is Sanjay Jenkins, and we are back again for another banger episode of Design to Convert. Now, this is our podcast, this is our opportunity to go deep with some of the folks in the trenches of all parts of the e-commerce ecosystem. We talk to agency owners, we talk to brand owners, we talk to people working at these businesses, building brick by brick, making the ecosystem better. And today is going to be a really fun episode. This is one that I know the team and I have been waiting for a long time. We've got Mustafa Saeed, the co-founder and growth chief over at Paul Street. And Paul Street's a very interesting type of agency. They are focused on partner marketing, and they really help brands power their affiliate programs. We're going to go deep on some areas that a lot of DTC brands tend to overlook or don't know too much about. So without further ado, Mustafa, welcome to Design to Convert. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well. Hello. How are you doing?
I'm great, man. This is going to be so much fun. I'm very, very excited to go through so many different parts of this. But just to kick it off, tell us about Paul Street. Like on a high level, what does Paul Street do? Like, what do you actually solve for your customers?
Yeah. So like you said, we're a partner and affiliate marketing agency. So we connect e-commerce businesses to a large network of agencies, publications, influencers, podcasts, and newsletters, ultimately to help grow their businesses, generate incremental revenue. We believe affiliate marketing is broken. It attracts a lot of low quality traffic sources, a lot of more side hustlers just looking to get rich quick. So we're fixing it by focusing only on the high quality traffic sources. Like these are the top 1% highest earning affiliates. We avoid all the coupon websites and cashback websites and credit card offers. Those are the traffic sources that are likely going to cause more harm than good for your business. There are some instances where those traffic sources can make sense, but more often than not, they're just going to be a headache. We started this business just less than 8 months ago, so we're still very recent, but the response and immediate validation has been unbelievable. We've signed more than 24 big name clients. We've hired 8 full-timers, and we're still growing very quickly despite everything that's happening in this economy.
That's amazing. Well, it's great to hear. Congratulations on that, especially given what's happening in the world, the fact that you're able to grow and the fact that you're able to help your clients grow. I mean, that's really your growth tied to client growth. I mean, it's like an indication of how well you're crushing it for folks. We're going to go deep on like some of the nitty gritty of the things that you described that your business does day to day. But before we get there, I would really love to get to know you a little bit better and understand how you got to this point. So give us the rundown on kind of your career and how you got into maybe e-commerce in general, and then take us up to the beginning of starting Paul Street.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm an entrepreneur and growth marketer in the e-commerce industry. I've dedicated the entirety of my career to e-commerce. This is all I want to do. This is all I want to focus on. I started my career at Square, which is a partner marketing agency that turned into a partner marketing SaaS company. And you actually had the Square folks on this podcast not too long ago. So
I talk to Matt all the time. I love that guy.
Yeah. And, that was the place where, I built so many of, connections to, DTC founders, operators, marketers, and so many of these, higher quality affiliates that, many of which we're still working with to this day. So built up, much of the fundamentals in the e-commerce space, a lot of my experience, skill set. This was also the time where we went through iOS 14.5, which, as you can imagine, was very impactful. And, we saw our revenues gradually decline, especially since, at the time, like more than 80% of our revenue was coming from Facebook ads and working with Facebook focused affiliates. So we went through the whole exercise of, testing new creatives and landing pages and offer models in order to incrementally improve our performance and get our clients back to profitability. We also invested heavily in channel diversification. Back at that time, Facebook represented the majority of our spending and revenue, but now it's one of the smaller sources. We're invested in more than 24 different traffic sources, and a lot of them came out of just iOS 14 and having to be scrappy and figure out how we can continue to generate revenue for our clients by way of affiliates. After Square I worked at Clearco, which is the largest investor in e-commerce businesses. This was also a very unique point in my career because I joined right before interest rates started rising, which as a capital provider can be very impactful, as you can imagine. So nevertheless, it gave me the opportunity to speak with literally dozens of founders every single week, learn about what's important to them, how they think, how they approach common e-commerce problems. But now I'm building Paul Street with Aaron Paul and Patrick Cleary. We're building not the largest but the best partner marketing agency in the space. I also do consulting, a lot of conversion rate optimization work, general growth consulting for direct consumer brands. But yeah, that's a little bit more about my background. Would love to get into a little bit more about the driving forces of Paul Street specifically. So yeah, like I said before, like we started very recently, just 8 months ago. I pretty much just got a random phone call from Aaron Paul, who I was previously working with at Square. And he was telling me about how he's starting a partner marketing agency and how we can leverage the many learnings and the network that we had formed during our time at Square to grow very, very quickly. And the more we talked about it, the less it became about just starting an agency, and it started to focus more on disrupting an industry. The majority of the clients that we have today aren't new brands dipping their toe in the water, testing affiliate marketing for the first time. Most of them have already gone through multiple different agencies, multiple different networks, have tried to be successful with affiliates and ultimately failed. And that's why they're coming to us. It's so crazy because we have the trend of e-commerce founders flocking to affiliate marketing because of challenges with meta ads, but all at the same time, those same founders are frustrated with their lack of success or unexpected results from their affiliate program. So we're really building Paul Street to bridge this gap, and that's our main driving force. That's why we built this business.
So thank you for the background. I mean, there's like so many different places that I think we could take this and dive in. Just really briefly, like what's like the number one lesson that you took away from your time at Square? And then what's the number one lesson that you took away from working at Clearco?
I think the biggest lesson at Square is experimentation is something of very high importance as it relates to not only affiliates, but e-commerce as a whole. So a lot of our big wins as a company didn't come from random spontaneous initiatives that we just come up with. It's more the strategic research backed landing page experiments, creative experiments, channel experiments that did have more of a strategy behind it, that were more methodical. That's where the majority of our success in a post iOS 14 world came from. So that's the biggest takeaway, and that was a big inspiration to why I decided to start consultancy, focused on CRO immediately after Square Dance. At Clearco, I think the learnings I got from Clearco were just more generalized. I think it was a very interesting experience because I was able to work within an e-commerce context that wasn't strictly marketing related. So I studied marketing at university. First job out of school was focused on marketing. So you kind of get typecasted where every job is focused on that. So Clearco gave me the opportunity to get out of that a little bit more and speak to e-commerce founders about things like supply chain or taxes or some of the more boring parts of e-commerce that are also very important. So those were the two key learnings from those experiences.
Got it. I love that. The experimentation thing, especially, like I think it's as I get deeper into like the affiliate world, I think that the people in the affiliate space in general are probably the most rigorous and from a velocity perspective, like they have the highest velocity of experiments that they're running, and it's so cool to see. Like it's like the little things that are being tested. But that's definitely like a muscle, it seems, that that people build up, and the folks that have any amount of time in the affiliate space tend to be so much more trained or like kind of think in those like experimentation terms a lot better than those without. And I think it's such a valuable skill to have. Um, okay, so you're at Square Dance, you're Clearco. Aaron Paul gives you the ring and says, "Hey, let's go cook up some this great agency." And one of the things you mentioned in that, especially like those conversations that you were having with him as you were putting the foundation of what became Paul Street together, was how e-commerce brand operators are signing up to all these marketplaces, to all these platforms for affiliate marketing, and then they're simultaneously getting frustrated with the results that they're getting. What were the pieces of like the what was like the gap? What were they missing as they were setting up these partnership marketing programs, or were they not doing well that facilitates the need for a company like Paul Street to come in?
Yeah, definitely. So three main things that would be top of mind. But I think the biggest one would be attracting new affiliates. That is a massive challenge that e-commerce business owners face when starting a new affiliate program. They may think they have the type of brand that can get affiliates super excited and have immediate testing from a large number of affiliates, but that's not always the case. For the majority of brands, they launch on these networks, they reach out to a bunch of affiliates, and they're not getting that many response backs. Even from the type of affiliates that are reaching out, a lot of them just may be bottom of the barrel opportunities. A lot of these couponing, cashback, credit card linked offers that maybe of much lower quality. Performance is also another big factor. So a lot of brands just aren't ready for affiliate marketing. In order to be successful in affiliate marketing, your brand also has to be success. If you're having trouble with your internal channels, if you can't make Facebook work, then perhaps it's not the right time to jump into affiliate, because the moment an affiliate starts running traffic to your landing pages, if you don't have an optimized landing page, they're going to see low conversion rates, you're going to see low EPCs. They're not going to be profitable if they're running paid traffic to that landing page, and you only have one chance with an affiliate. There's so many opportunities that the affiliate has. They have the power in these relationship dynamics. So why should they run your specific offer when they can go to your competitor that may be paying you more money, or that may have a celebrity that's endorsing the brand, or some kind of unique value proposition that your brand just doesn't have? Those are some of the main challenges that a lot of e-commerce business owners face once they do first launch with affiliates, and those are some of the common things that we hear from customers coming to us.
Got it. Okay. I mean, this is actually something I've encountered myself. Very first time I ever set up an affiliate program, I used a different marketplace. I used ShareASale, and I think I made all the rookie mistakes that you just described. Like I was like, oh man, it's like we were not getting anybody to like sign up for our program. So I was like, let me just bump up the percentage the commission percentage. And that got a ton of traffic. They got a ton of play. And I'm like, overnight, I'm like, oh wow, I must be a genius. Like we're getting all this play. And then the thing that I struggled with the most was we had a ton of fraud. Like we got all these, as you mentioned, the bottom of the barrel affiliates that are running coupon sites, the random, wacky, really crazy gray hat, black hat stuff that's like not even performing. Or, I mean, the worst case was like all the fraud that kind of picks up. So, so walk us through the process of, I want to touch into some of those challenges, like the fraud and these other things in a bit, but walk us through what y'all do to go deep. Let's go deeper on all the things that you do to like really protect and set a brand up for success. So, I mean, you mentioned optimized landing pages. Obviously, that's something that we love talking about, being a landing page builder and all. But, talk about, do you help with offer building? Do you help with commission structure? Like, what are all the things that you kind of like run through as someone's first getting started in this?
Yeah, let's start off with the affiliate compliance part of that question. So yeah, affiliate compliance is extremely important, especially in the health and wellness space, which represents a lot of our clients. They will be very sensitive about, what claims can be made about their product. So for example, let's say you're selling a cognitive supplement. You can't say that it improves cognitive function, but you can say it supports cognitive function or promotes cognitive function. So they're, very nitpicky in that sense. Especially when you're working with brands that are endorsed by, big name celebrities. Usually you'll have certain contract limitations, and these contracts can be very nuanced, where it's like, okay, you can use Paris Hilton on Meta ads, but you can't use it on TikTok for whatever reason. So we want to make sure, we're understanding of these restrictions. Affiliates are aware. I think the easiest way to manage through affiliate compliance is work with trusted partners. We're very lucky to have worked with a lot of these same affiliates for the last several years during our time at Square Dance. So having that history, having that historical data, we just know what to expect from a traffic quality standpoint, from a performance standpoint. We even know what are the type of offers that are likely to perform that affiliate. So if I have an affiliate that's been absolutely crushing with skincare products, and everything else that they've ever tried, they've haven't been successful at, I know what to share with that affiliate in order to get more testing out of them. And on the same token, they have an understanding of our process as well. So creative approvals is something that we do manage internally. So before any affiliate can go live, if they do create any new pieces of content for our clients, whether it be ad creatives, ad copy, landing pages, that does have to be, submitted through our creative approval platform, has to be reviewed by, our team at Paul Street and the client as well, just to make sure, the affiliate is, operating in a way that, is making the brand look favorably. We also use multiple different ad spy tools in order to actually see live ads, once they are published on Facebook and TikTok. So we do, ad spy tool monitoring several times a week, just to more proactively check the ads that customers are seeing on their side, and making sure affiliates aren't doing what they're not supposed to be doing. Essentially, we have a very similar monitoring tool for branded search and trademark bidding. So that's a big no-no in the affiliate space. You don't want affiliates bidding on your branded keywords because it could drive your costs up. We use a tool called Brand Verity in order to do that. So that tool will essentially crawl Google and Microsoft search engines and supply us with a daily report on, if any potential instances where affiliates are bidding on branded or product related keywords. We also do the same thing with attribution monitoring. So we get access to our clients' Triple Whale, Northbeam, Rockerbox account, whichever platform that they're on, just so we have more of a holistic understanding as to the conversions that our affiliates are driving. How does it look like relative to the client's broader acquisition mix, and how much is the client actually paying for those conversions as opposed to what's being displayed on a dashboard. We also have a one strike policy with affiliates. So if we catch an affiliate that's doing something they're not supposed to be doing, we will ban them not only for that campaign, but all of our campaigns. And we work with a lot of pretty brands that affiliates want to get their hands on. So, affiliates don't want to, cross us, and they're very understanding of that. So that's, our thought process around affiliate compliance. Obviously, this has shifted over the last several years, and we've improved on it quite substantially. And but in terms of more best practices, you mentioned it. Optimized landing pages is going to be a big one. We actually build 24 landing pages for our clients every single month, so it's a massive growth lever for us to be able to pull. And we use Replo for all of our landing page builds. And like I said before, we really only have one shot with an affiliate. We want them to run our campaigns and see the best conversion rates, lowest acquisition costs, the highest EPC, just so they can continue investing their time and internal resources into our campaigns versus the so many other campaigns that are on every single network. But I highly recommend doing some user research, drilling through your customer reviews, doing an audit of your customer reviews, just so you can pinpoint the motivations, pain points, areas of friction that your customers are experiencing along the funnel, and research essentially turns into ideas for incremental improvements that you can make across your funnel in order to improve performance. Not only do you want to be optimizing your conversion rate, but it's a good practice to also optimize for your average order value, especially if you are more of a CPG brand or a brand that will require the customer to purchase more than one of that product. Having ways where we're incentivizing the customer for purchasing 2, 3, or 4 of that product can substantially improve our average order value, and in turn allow us to pay the affiliate more money for the traffic that they are driving to that landing page. That's one best practice. On the same token of landing pages, you don't only just want to optimize your existing landing pages. Ultimately, just because you have a page that's performing well on Facebook doesn't mean it's going to work for every and any affiliate that you throw at it. Affiliates are very diverse in terms of the traffic sources that they do invest in. There are certain types of landing pages like pre-sales or listicles or quiz funnels or offer pages that may be considered more innovative landing page tests that perhaps could convert better on our affiliates' unique traffic sources, especially pre-sale pages. For products in the health and wellness space that may be a little bit more complex, we may want to spend a little bit more time educating the customer on the product's ingredients or how the product actually works or the science behind the product, just so when they actually land on our page, they're in a position to make an immediate purchase decision. You mentioned offers, and offer testing is definitely important, but I'll even go as far as to say provide affiliates with exclusive offers. So if you can give an affiliate an offer that's better than anything that the customer can find anywhere else on the internet, that can help the affiliate from a conversion standpoint. So say you're giving them an exclusive discount or a free gift with a purchase that increases the perceived value, but it can also reduce the attribution window and attribution leakage. So a lot of sales are lost in affiliate marketing due to attribution leakage, where a customer may click on one of our affiliates' links, they may go through our pre-sale page, but right before they're about to purchase the product, they go into Amazon and buy from there. Those are instances where our affiliates will not be credited for that sale, and giving the customer an exclusive offer can oftentimes reduce that attribution leakage and make sure as many of those customers are being attributed to that affiliate as possible. So they're making what they should be paid and are reinvesting their money in the campaign as well. But I think the most important best practice, and this very much ties into what I mentioned previously, you need to be prioritizing your target affiliates. You don't just want to go into one of these networks and spray and pray and just whoever says yes, let's work with them. There's a lot of terrible opportunities in the affiliate space. You need to be able to navigate the bullshit. And there are, many higher quality traffic sources, but, you want to be very clear as to, what are the opportunities that you think are going to be the most viable, most incremental, most, fruitful for your unique business, and, focus within those lanes. But I'm going to stop right there, but that's just high level some of the best practices and how we manage compliance with affiliates.
You were on a roll. I didn't want to stop you because boom, big hitter after one after the other. So that was awesome, and I think you gave me the download, gave us all the download on how to set this up really, really nicely. There's so many things that as a brand owner you have to do to to run this right. Obviously, as you kept listening, I was like, holy cow, there's so much. It makes so much sense to have a partner, come in and help manage all of that or guide it, or in some cases do certain aspects of it. So walk us through the profile of your fastest growing clients. What makes them so special? What do they have ready to rock? And then when they come to you, what did you do immediately for them? So, to go ask the question again, what's the profile of your fastest growing clients? What do they look like? Size, industries, etc. And then what did you do for them as soon as they jumped on board with y'all?
Yeah, for sure. So just to talk through, I think a few of our most recent success stories, and I think that can give you an idea of some of the type of clients that have been most successful with us. The first would be Hexclad, which is Gordon Ramsay's cookware brand. They make knives and pots and pans. But we officially launched with the Hexclad team in time for Memorial Day weekend. We launched on native ads, programmatic display, and several email newsletters. And we were able to reach 70 sales per day, all with new customers. And we're able to maintain that momentum going into June. And we've since added several additional traffic sources, including content placements and on New York Post and several YouTube cooking channels and those kind of opportunities. So that has been an incredible campaign for us to work with. Another very successful one would be SolarWave. There and at home red light therapy, skincare wand that's pretty much endorsed by every single celebrity at this point. They're an iconic campaign in the affiliate space that has seen success with affiliates over the last 2.5 years now. We started working with them at Square Dance, and we were able to bring them on as a client with Paul Street as well. And they'll easily do $250,000 in revenues by way of affiliate in any given month. So we've seen success with them on TikTok ads, display ads, publications, content creators. But our channel mix with that advertiser is extremely extensive, as you can imagine. Nailboo has been another very recent success of ours. That's Paris Hilton's nail kit brand. We're leveraging more of a gift giving angle with affiliates. That's working well. So focusing on listicles and email newsletters and driving paid traffic to these listicles. So these can be themed like top 10 must-have gifts or Mother's Day as an example. Those have been very cost-effective opportunities from an acquisition standpoint. So those are a few examples. In terms of some of the things that you want to include, those aspects of the ideal client archetype. We generally only focus on some of the more established brands generating at least $20 million a year in revenues. We always like to say internally, we don't build brands, we scale them. We're very good at adding on an additional 100 plus new customers every single day by way of affiliate. Those kind of numbers are very realistic, but we're never going to be the type of brand that brings you from 0 to 1 million. That's not what we do. But having a product that's proven itself in the market, having a recognizable brand name, having a ton of social proof, having a war chest of creatives and optimized landing pages, all of that really works to our advantage because that just gives us so much more to be able to go out to affiliates and get them on the campaign. To be honest, with a lot of the smaller brands, I even question whether it's the right time to get involved with affiliate marketing altogether. You really need to question your fundamentals. Do you have the brand that's going to capture affiliates' interests? Perhaps, if not, you should invest more in optimizing your landing page. You should focus more on improving your performance on other traffic sources. Because if you launch with affiliates, like I said before, if they aren't successful, you're not going to see them much thereafter. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of curious. Have you ever seen, or actually, let me back it up. So the idea is, I'm starting from scratch, and I have the whole universe of knowledge and data to kind of look at, or a good chunk of it. And the number one thing that I want to do when I start this brand is I want it to be designed so that on day one, I can go to affiliates and they will be excited and happy and obviously like energized and compensated well to grow this. And that my first growth channel is affiliates. What type of business should I be building if that's what I'm trying to do?
That's an interesting question. We don't generally work with, smaller brands. We usually, our expertise is not bringing a new product to market by way of affiliate. It's more scaling an already existing successful one and, adding on incremental, acquisition by way of, these higher quality affiliate sources. But my biggest recommendation there is, affiliate marketing is a community. There's so many of these, players that are out there in different Slack communities. Highly recommend, different online forums. STM is one of the more popular ones. Don't be afraid to talk to these affiliates. Get an understanding as to what's working for them, what isn't working for them. and use those insights to help with ideating the right product that affiliates will be excited about. I think the biggest part would be that product itself. What would make sense for affiliates. Beyond that, you want to get on board a network, just so you have a mechanism of being able to track and manage and find these kind of relationships. So we use several different networks. We use Square Dance, Levanta, Impact, Everflow. Those are just some of that we use internally, but this industry is in desperate need of consolidation. So you'll see so many of these networks that are out there. But once you get set up on a network, tracking, campaign setup, reporting, QA, all of that is standard. From there, affiliate outreach is going to be very important. So reaching out to these affiliates on these networks, and also finding them on the open internet and getting in touch with them on email. You want to have calls with every affiliate that you are signing up on your program. If these are strategic partners to grow your business, you want to get a holistic understanding of their background, their experience. You also want to suss them out from a compliance standpoint, and make sure they're the right type of affiliate that you do want to work with. Affiliates will often have a lot of tasks and requests that they need. So like creative approvals, or they may ask for some additional data points from a demographic standpoint to help orient themselves from a targeting perspective. Once you do have affiliates that are on the campaign, are sending traffic, and you have a steady flow of new affiliates that are signing up and activating on your campaign, that's when you want to focus more on the optimization front. So, you want to be communicating with your affiliates, getting their feedback as to what their perspective is as it relates to running their campaign with you. There's a lot that you don't see as an advertiser, mainly the costs of how much these affiliates are actually spending on their channel and individual creative performance. So those are insights that the affiliate will have to communicate directly with you, and having that information is going to be very important for your team to give that affiliate a little bit more of a helping hand. So let's say they run to a landing page and they're not happy with performance. There are things that you can do. So they can share the landing pages that have worked on other campaigns that they've run with. They can share nuances as it relates to their traffic source that we should be accounting for as it relates to building those landing pages. And optimization crosses pretty much every single aspect of the pilot framework. So really growth on all sides. You also want to implement a lot of the same compliance monitoring tools that I previously mentioned, but all of these things that I just mentioned, like leveraging an agency like Paul Street, we manage all of that for you.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I mean, it give me, as a person who's trying to figure out, okay, how do I build something for affiliates, or to work for affiliates, ground level below your $20 million kind of floor for engagements. It's kind of interesting to think through, but broadly still, I think it gives a lot of folks who are running brands here's how I should think about every aspect of setting up this program. And it's nice to know that there are people out there like Paul Street, or groups out like they're Paul Street, that can actually handle a lot of this. One of the things that I really want to do now in this part of the conversation is go into a little bit of detail on affiliates themselves and the world that they live in. So, I'm relatively new to it. I think it's a very interesting game. For folks listening at home, one of the ways to simplify a lot of what the way the affiliate sees the world is they've got, let's say they get a $30 commission on anything that they sell for a particular offer. Then that means they have up to $30 to spend to get a customer, and whatever that difference is their profit, and that's what they keep. So they're spending their own money to drive customers to your business, and then they're keeping the difference. So the efficiency on the landing pages, the quality of the offer, the volume that you can get through an offer, all of those things are matter deeply to affiliates. When I first got into affiliates, or just kind of started to try to understand this world a little bit more, it was hilariously through the car community. And so I see like all these like 20-year-olds getting Lambos. I'm like, what are they doing? Like, what? And then I talk to them and like, oh yeah, we're affiliates. I'm like, what does that mean? Like, and then you start peeling back the layers, and the low level guys, everyone's like trying to like optimize the Lambos. You got some like big folks, heavy hitters that are, selling their company for tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, and getting absorbed in as much larger organizations. So the spectrum is very, very wide, and so there's a lot of space here. So if you could give the audience a bit of context on who these people are. They're not just Lambo lovers, like little kids trying to do things, and they're not big organizations either. It's like a full spectrum. So like walk us through who affiliates are, what they care about, and how they get into the game, how they grow in their own careers.
Yeah, ultimately, in short, they're just human beings. Some of them are, large organizations. Forbes is an affiliate, for example. There are also large companies like Ziff Davis that, may own, multiple, larger content publications on their side, and, leverage that as, their own affiliate ecosystem. Same goes on the media buying side. A lot of the larger media buying agencies that may have experience spending in the hundreds of millions of dollars on Facebook ads, TikTok ads, or wherever else, they like to, leverage affiliate campaigns, mainly because, they don't have to worry about the overhead of managing, client relationships. And, you mentioned $30 payout to affiliates. When you're focusing on high quality traffic sources, when you're excluding all the couponing, all the cashback, you can pay much higher for that acquisition, right? If you're paying Facebook or Meta $100 per conversion, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to pay an affiliate running on one of those higher quality, more incremental traffic sources the same amount. Especially if there are other more cost-effective traffic sources out there, like TikTok sometimes or Snapchat sometimes, to be able to arbitrage that difference. That's how the affiliate makes their monies. And we like to focus a lot of our clients largely on the CPG space as well. Companies that do a very good job of after the customer is acquired, being able to bring them back to buy more and more and more. So whether it's through a subscription model, or they have just incredible email sequences to be able to do that more organically, that's something that we definitely look for as part of our clients to be able to achieve that for our affiliates and be very aggressive when it comes to these payouts. Outside of the larger, better established organizations, there are a lot of independent media buyers that work at these larger agencies that see affiliate marketing as a side hustle. So they may be on Square Dance that they may be incredible media buyers, but they may have a smaller budget because they're running on their own, and they aren't working as part of their broader agency, running these campaigns. So those are the best kind of relationships to work with because they're so scrappy and they come with so many creative ideas as to what we can do to improve performance and unlock incremental revenue. Same thing goes on the content side. There's so many mommy bloggers that are secretly making like hundreds of thousands of dollars a month just through affiliate marketing. So there's one more popular one called Fit Healthy Mama that you can check out. All they do is product brand reviews, and they have an email newsletter and social media pages where they're able to leverage their owned audiences to constantly drive new eyeballs to largely direct consumer brands. So that's a little bit high level of what these affiliates actually look like on more of the human side.
That's awesome. I mean, obviously, yeah, approaching it from a human level is so important. It's a great call out. And I really enjoyed the spectrum of personalities and backgrounds and functions that you presented as well. It's like there's something for everybody on both sides of the marketplace relationship too. So let's I want to make sure that we leave the audience with everything they need to know to kind of get started in this space. There's a question that's been nagging me that I really am just curious about, and it's like your favorite success story when someone activates affiliate marketing as a channel. So out of your years of doing this, what's your like go-to, what's the success story that you just really love thinking about and sharing?
The one that is nearest and dearest to me would be Chef's Plate, which is a subsidiary of HelloFresh. It's a Canadian subsidiary of HelloFresh, mainly because when I was promoted to a client partner role at Square Dance, that was one of the first clients that I was given. And when I was given that client, we weren't doing a very good job. We were underperforming. We were only generating like 3 to 5 sales per day. With the Chef's Plate team, which for a company of that size is absolutely pathetic. And we had been working with them for several months in advance, and we tried multiple things and weren't able to make it work. And that was one of the campaigns that I was able to go in. One of the first things I did was a complete audit of the campaign, trying to pinpoint what has gone well, what has gone poorly in terms of the tests that we have run. I think the biggest issue was actually on the landing page front. A lot of the common complaints that we were getting from affiliates is it's converting decently, it could convert better, but it's not converting well enough for them to be profitable on the campaign. So we built multiple different landing pages, pre-sale pages, but ultimately we built a dozen pre-sale pages for them. All of them did not work. It was actually more of a unique style of flyer page that we built through the many learnings that we had in these landing page experiments that ended up being the catalyst for providing that performance uplift for us to be able to diversify into other traffic sources beyond just Facebook ads. So we were actually the first agency to test TikTok ads for any of the HelloFresh brands. We did the same thing on Pinterest and Snapchat and a lot of the more traditional affiliate channels as well. And that was a very unique point in time where we got to work with the broader HelloFresh growth team and unlocking these new channels for the business. Beyond that, we also negotiated a substantially higher payout for our affiliates. We noticed that what their team were paying affiliates were substantially lower compared to what they were seeing on their internal channels, especially after iOS 14. So even after we were able to increase that conversion rate, we were able to justify paying these affiliates more money, and that allowed us to identify so many additional opportunities that wouldn't even consider us because our payout was below the threshold that that affiliate found to be reasonable. So that was really it. It's a combination of so many, like 6 months of painstaking landing page experiments, getting aggressive when it comes to that, the payout that we are paying affiliates, and diversifying our channel mix. Many of the same commonalities that we saw as our success points for some of the other campaigns that I mentioned as well. But closer to the end of our partnership with Chef's Plate, before I left Square Dance for Clearco, we were doing 200 all new customers every single day by way of affiliate. So we were like the largest external marketing organization for the Chef's Plate team, and that would be that story that I'm most proud of, and that's one I love telling.
That's awesome. I can hear in your voice how much you're proud of that. That's like, and that's huge. I mean, I think any business, regardless of size, would love to have 200 new customers a day at a profitable and consistent volume. Like that's the dream, right? Like you're starting to print. And I think one of the things that you have highlighted time and again in our conversation today is the idea that you're creating incremental revenue here, right? You've got, these brands that you're working with, they're running their own Facebook. They've got their, their Google stuff, but you're adding these channels, and they might be, spending on Facebook, might be spending on Google as well. But like there's other angles, other ways to kind of keep adding the revenue. And it also sounds like in many cases, unlocking channels that the brand would not necessarily go after themselves or don't have the resource to do so by way of affiliates. One you've mentioned quite often, or like a couple times on the podcast, rather than saying quite often. I think it's mentioned a couple times. And one that I only recently learned about, probably a couple years ago, and I've never used myself, just aware of, is native advertising, stuff like Taboola, Outbrain, etc. For folks that have no idea what native advertising means, can you give us the TLDR, like the 30 seconds on what that even means and how affiliates kind of fit into that?
Yeah, definitely. So pretty much, this is an advertising placement that looks organic to the broader platform that it's on. So you mentioned some of the two more common platforms where you can run this kind of traffic, Taboola, Outbrain, but our affiliates are very extensive in running to multiple different native ad platforms, including Ref Content, MGID, MSN, and so on and so forth. It can be a very cost-effective channel. For some reason, there are over 400 million websites on the internet. The entire e-commerce industry has decided, these are just 3 to 5 websites should do. That's all I want to focus on. But yeah, that's been a very successful channel specifically for affiliates that a lot of brands just haven't done a good job of being able to crack internally.
Interesting. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, great call out. There's so many. I think e-commerce can have a myopic view of the world, and it's nice. Thank you for opening our collective eyes open on these sorts of things. All right, Mustafa. So I know we're coming up on time, but I've got a few more questions that I want to ask you. The first one is, like, in your experience, what are like the common misconceptions that the folks have about partner marketing? In e-commerce, like what should people be aware of?
Definitely. There are so many very, very valid misconceptions about affiliate marketing. A lot of these misconceptions can very well be true. Largely, it's not incremental, it's not scalable. Affiliates just steal attribution from your other traffic sources. And it all depends on the type of affiliates that you focus on, right? If you're focusing on these bottom of the barrel opportunities, it isn't going to be incremental. It isn't going to be scalable. Affiliates are going to be stealing attribution from your other sources, and I have the data to prove it. Don't get me wrong. There are certain viable opportunities that you can work with coupon sites with, but not the majority of ways that e-commerce brands are working with coupon websites. It's just not worth their investment. And the reality of the matter is, people just don't often realize the breadth of different traffic sources that affiliates can work with. The way that I like to think about it is affiliate marketing is a technology. You have a link, you can get a customer to click on that link and purchase the product. And if you manage to do that, you'll get a commission. How you manage to do that is completely up to you. It's very easy to find these lower quality affiliates. And that's where so many of these misconceptions come from. But what's more challenging is finding these fruitful, scalable, high quality affiliate relationships. And I mentioned these before a lot, but creators, media buyers, and publications are some of the channels that we focus on internally to be able to bridge that quality gap.
So to close, I've got 2 questions for you. I've got a professional question and a personal question. We'll start with the professional one. The professional question is simply, what can we expect out of Paul Street and the rest of your team over the coming months? What's cooking?
More brands, more revenue, more people. And the one out of the 3 I'm most excited about is more people. I got to, we got to hire so many people over the last couple of weeks and go through the process of, training and onboarding. And, that has been a very rewarding experience that I very much look forward to doing more of.
Awesome. That's amazing to hear. I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys grow, especially given I didn't realize you were only 8 months old as a company. I think that's especially some of the conversations that we've had internally at Replo, I'm just like, holy cow, these guys are massively growing. And it's just out here cooking. One of the things that we mentioned pre-call was you've got some interesting takes on, I'm going to extend a little bit of time because I really enjoy talking to you and this is fun. You mentioned before we started recording that you had some interesting takes on e-commerce broadly. So like, what's some advice that you'd give, broadly to e-com folks? What are your hot takes there?
Yeah, I'm always, as a consultant, very reluctant to give general advice openly on, I don't know how many people are potentially watching this, but just to speak very generally, you want to make sure you're understanding your channel specific incrementality. So leverage tools like Measured to, get a more holistic understanding as to, okay, for every dollar you're investing on each channel, how much do you expect in return? Running those experiments, getting that data can, be very rewarding for your business, especially, post iOS 14 world, high interest rate world. You want to be operating your acquisition more efficiently. And can be a very useful exercise to better reshuffle your advertising spending or reprioritize your advertising spending. So you're investing the most in channels that are most meaningfully contributing to that final conversion. This has been said before a lot by myself in this podcast, but invest in your landing pages, invest in your messaging, invest in your offer. Wanted a huge shout out to the Replo team and the platform itself. It's been a massive value unlock for us internally. It makes it so easy to be able to, whenever affiliate does want something super unique and custom, be able to replicate a page and, make those changes. Say they wanted a page with a different headline or a sub-headline or whatever, rather than going to the client, getting approval, making it a whole process. We're able to do that in a couple of minutes. So I am embarrassed to share how much money we used to spend on landing pages before Replo, but definitely invest in your landing pages and use Replo to do it. That would be my second recommendation. And last but not least, don't let stupid problems get in your way. Invest in your team, invest in your internal processes. Having a proper system in place for things like QA, for example, can make the world of difference. The last thing you want in peak seasonal moments is to have a tracking issue that completely screws up your day and costs you many millions of dollars. So high level, more generally, those would be the pieces of advice that I would give.
Incredible. Those are some heavy hitters as well. Definitely got to clip those. Final question for you, my friend, is if you could go back to the beginning of your career, knowing everything you know now, what's that one piece of advice you would give to your younger self?
I would give myself a piece of advice that I've already taken, but I'd give myself that advice just in case I forgot about it and missed it along restarting that journey. And that piece of advice is, take the time earlier on in your life to get a better understanding of all the different pathways in life that you can take. And I did that, especially in my first semester of my undergraduate degree, where, I was very proactive in reaching out to people on LinkedIn and, getting on the phone with people, getting a better understanding of, what their life looks like, what their career looks like. When you're a student, especially, it's so easy to get help from people. Everyone wants to help you when you're a student. And, some companies went above and beyond in inviting me to their office, giving me a tour, giving me a day in the life. And that helped me getting an understanding as to, okay, what am I actually good at? What am I actually interested about? And that's really how I found my interest in the consumer packaged goods industry, and then later found the trend within e-commerce. So I credit that point in my life as the way that I found my passion and interest in e-commerce. And speaking to so many people today that are still finding that for their careers, for their lives, that's the piece of advice that I'd give to my younger self again.
Amazing. Mustafa, it's been so much fun talking to you today. I have to go back and watch the recording probably like 50 times because you dropped in so much value. This is going to be such a fun one to share. Obviously, just tons of learnings. And I hope we get to do this again soon. I hope we get to do a little face-to-face action. I'm probably going to be blowing you up about doing case studies as well, because some of the work that you've put out lately, we've just seen we've not seen the kind of growth that you and your team are putting out with the kinds of results and the level of clients either. So it's just really, really impressed. Congratulations on your success thus far. Keep cranking. And thank you for being on Design to Convert.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. We shall see you all next time on another banger episode. You're going to keep learning. You're going to keep having fun. Keep getting some great advice. And hopefully you're all listening and taking notes and going and applying this to your business. Make sure you follow us on all the podcasting apps. Follow us on Twitter. And we will keep making the show and bringing you the real deep cuts Thank you again for listening to Design to Convert, and I shall see you all next time.